Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to this week's edition of the Blockchain Developer Weekly Digest. And this week I have for you some news from updates from Solidity, new version of Solidity. Truffle has new things, Web3.js has new things, Solidity IDE has released new version, and of course I have news from Opera and very beautiful tutorial from Ethers.js. So without any further hesitation, let's straight dive into what has happened last week. And first of all, Eternity had their Minerva hard fork happened on 7th of March, exactly on 15-16 minutes. And now the major changes that I told you about last week are already there. You can use the native state channels even better than what you could do now. And for more info of what was part of this hard fork, please refer to my previous video. And with the hard fork out of the way, there are some news from the languages, tools, and libraries section for Ethereum. And most notable news comes from Solidity, where there is now a new version, 0.5.5 of Solidity. And this version of Solidity has come up with different fixes and improvements, most notably on the ABI encoder version 2 and on the SMT checker. So the SMT checker now gives much less false positives. And another thing that you can do is now you can enable the experimental Yule optimizer so that you can have even more optimized, even faster smart contracts, more efficient smart contracts. So check out Solidity 0.5.5 and this will soon be supported into the frameworks that are there. And when I said frameworks, there is actually a new version for Truffle, 5.0.7. Wow, so Truffle have been the MVPs of the last couple of weeks. There have been 3 releases for the 3 weeks that I have been reporting for the last 3 weeks. And this release is quite minor compared to what happened the previous weeks, but of course there are some bug fixes, some improvements, most notably on the stability, and there is a backup source for Sol-C binaries that can be downloaded with Truffle, and some improvements on the decoder that is there. And as integral part of Truffle is Web3.js, there is also an update on Web3.js. So Web3.js has a new version beta 48, and it contains mostly bug fixes, but we would want to take these bug fixes into your dApp if you are having contracts that have multiple return values. So in the previous version, there were some breaks, there were some bugs introduced when you're working with smart contracts with multiple return values. And in version beta 48, these are actually fixed. So update to the latest version if you're using Web3.js and using smart contracts that have multiple return values. And last but not least, from the libraries section, Solidity IDE, the Vue.js based alternative of Remix that I reported to you a couple of episodes ago, has actually released a new version, 2.0. And the major change is that actually you can now, instead of using files and Solidity files into the local storage of the browser, you can now access file system files. So pretty much this allows you to have files on your file system and then just open it up and modify it, edit them in Solidity IDE. So this pretty much opens up huge possibilities for Solidity IDE to be integrated with different frameworks. For example, Ethereum would definitely like to do that, and Solidity IDE would act as the front end, like the visual integrated development environment for the frameworks. So great job for the developers of Solidity IDE, and we are looking for the next exciting things that are coming from Solidity IDE. And pretty much this concluded the libraries and tools sections. There is one new library, and it comes from one of the most active developers that are there, Buki Ba. Couple of episodes ago, I reported for one of his libraries, and now there is new libraries of his that is for red black binary search trees. So in Solidity you can now code your own red black binary search trees, and they are going to be very efficient. They're not based on recursion, they are based on iterations, and this makes them like much more efficient than the recursion version. And you might be thinking, all right, where should I use this? And Bookie Poo Ba himself has suggested that this one awesome use case is to use it as maintaining of order book, like for decentralized exchanges. So red and black binary search trees are great for maintaining a list based on index, numeric index, and very efficiently have like insertions, searches, and deletions. So take a look at Bookie Poo Ba's new library and make use of it whenever you see fit in your applications. And pretty much in terms of code or new code, this was it. However, I have two news pieces for you that I think are very going to be fairly important and might be useful for you. First thing first, Opera, the browser, has decided to actually embed Ethereum wallet into their iOS app. They have announced their plans to do so. And just a recap of the history, Opera already has integrated this in their desktop client, and they have already integrated this in their Android application, so iOS now follows. And this just continues the efforts of Opera to become the de facto browser for dApps. So take a look at what is going to be there and plan how your dApps are going to be using Opera. And last but not least, coming from HCC, I had the chance to experience firsthand how few people actually know about the great library that Ethers.js is. And luckily, this week there has been a new tutorial built by a company called Zastrin. It's an educational company, and it is how do you build a dApp using Ethers.js. So link is going to be in the description, where you'll be able to learn how to use Ethers.js to build your own voting dApp. If you haven't experienced Ethers.js, don't forget check out Ethers.js. Also check out Etherlime, that is going to like set up everything for you to start working with Ethers.js, and give it a try to this tutorial. You'll be able to work your own voting dApp. And pretty much these were the news from last week. For next week, expect some new libraries, some new tools to be coming up out of ETH Paris, the hackathon that is currently going on. Or by the time that you're seeing this video, maybe I would have finished. And yeah, pretty much this is it. Like always, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels. Check out the previous instances of Blockchain Developer Weekly Digest. And always don't forget to build. Don't get into the crypto Twitter drama. Just focus on your building and you'll be good. Thanks for having me here, and see you soon. Bye.